Hello YouTube, Jason from Renegade Rants Comics. So today I'm going to kind of go with the new comic book day haul that I got from this past Wednesday, but I want to talk about my comic collecting mistakes for a minute. So I am not usually collecting a lot of new books that come out. It depends on what the series is, kind of thing. So the new Wolverine that came out, definitely I'm going to pick that up. There was a new Robbie Reyes Ghost Rider. I am not the biggest Robbie Reyes Ghost Rider fan. Like, I don't mind the character at all, but he's just not my kind of Ghost Rider because it's his uncle that is the demon in him, not, you know, and yeah, it's cool he drives a Charger, but I'm a motorcycle guy. I want to see my Ghost Rider on a bike, but, you know, we'll get that. And there's a couple other things that I was looking at, but the hype around Absolute Batman, I figure I might as well pick it up. Whoops. So of course it's sold out. And of course now that I'm looking at online for copies, they're going for kind of insane things. I saw one for like 20 bucks, 30 bucks kind of thing, and I'm like, all right, we missed that train. But it's like, I've done that a lot, you know, like I assume I can go to a shop, life happens, don't make it to the shop, and I know I could put it on a pull list and stuff, but I kind of like to actually kind of look at it a little bit while I'm at the comic book store or the LCS to make sure it's something I actually want, because funds are not unlimited for the hobby, so I kind of want to make sure I'm picking up things I actually want to read and I'm not just buying the hype. But from everything I've seen, basically I should have picked it up. So what do we actually have? And then the other one that was making me a little concerned was I got online to see if they still had it in stock before I drove all the way up there, and they were saying where they were sold out, but they actually did have one copy. It was a variant for the Wolverine 2, so this is actually a key. It was Saladin Ahmed as the writer and the cover artist, and I'm going to probably butcher the first name, but Yoon. And this is the first appearance of the new Wendigo. And if anyone doesn't remember, the Wendigo is kind of where Hulk and Wolverine met up because they were taking out the Wendigo, so it's kind of cool. I really do like the cover on this. It's a variant, and I don't really do variants. I did actually get smart, and before I miss out on the Helverine that is going to be my new go-to, and Spirits of Vengeance, that kind of thing, I actually went and recreated a pull list so that I don't end up oopsing it myself again. Next one I was talking about was Robbie Reyes Ghost Rider, #1. And this is a key. The cover was by Jay Gonzo, and there's a lot of artists, or writers, I think, on that, but there's like 3 different stories. So we have Hernandez, Smith, Flores, Hidalgo, Basaldua, Cortez, Wences, and Zavala. But I really do like the cover on that. And as I just spoke that I'm not really big on my Ghost Rider not being on a motorcycle, well, this is a key because it's the first appearance of a Colombian roller derby champ with a cursed secret. So we got a Ghost Rider, okay, Phantasma, on rollerblades. Okay. The next one that I've got, and this was the last of the new comic book day, and I'm not sure what to do with this, is going to be Blade Red Band. And I'd seen these in other videos, like I saw Bone Clock Collector had a couple of these, and I've seen it on a couple other channels. Basically, I don't know if I'm supposed to open it up or not. Like, I kind of want to read it, but it's like it's sealed in the Red Band package, and if this becomes anything, but it's Blade Red Band 1, and I guess the Red Band is that it's overly graphic. So back in the day, like my Punisher Max run, you know, Garth Ennis, there was kind of a little bit more violence, and maybe the art was a little bit more trippy, you know, kind of thing, showing more violent, more blood, that kind of thing. So apparently the Red Bands are it's super violent in here, and they're making sure that it's for appropriate audiences, and it kind of reminds me of back in the day when they started putting all the PG, you couldn't go see a movie, and then of course me and my buddies were always trying to sneak into the movies at the mall when, you know, something came out, and we were tall, but we still looked young, but we could usually pull it off about sneaking into the theater, you know, underage, unless they asked for ID, and then, oh, I left it in my other, you know, pants. But, so, if anyone wants to comment down below, you open it up, just keep it in the poly it came in, and then read it, and then maybe devalue it, or does it devalue it? I'm not 100% sure, but I thought that this was kind of a good, cool pickup just for the collection. You know, maybe this will be kind of like the Mark Jewelers of the, you know, 2020s. And then the last two that I actually got were actually gifts from my buddy Sean. My buddy Sean went down to Pennsylvania. He was at a local shop down there. I'll probably try to put a description down in there for it, but basically he had picked me up a couple Wolverines. So this one is Wolverine 7. Of course, him in the wonderful patch outfit. And this is from 2014. Paul Cornell, and cover artist was Edgar Delgado. And I believe Ryan Stegman too. Sometimes I'm not sure if like they have two artists on the cover kind of thing, but that's what when I looked it up it said, and I just think that's kind of a cool art. And then the other one was Wolverine 109 from 97, and I really do like the art on that. Of course, it's the cover art for from Adam Kubert. And I don't know if anyone's seen, but on Facebook, he's actually got a Kickstarter going on for his art. They've raised, I think, enough money to get it out. I don't know how that really works, and I really don't have the money to kind of throw in there, but if anyone's interested in that. But this one was Larry Hama and, you know, Adam on the cover. So I want to thank my friend Sean for picking those up for me and thinking of me. But he actually showed me or sent me a couple pictures of the shop, and it was really, really nice in there. And I guess they had some really cool wall books. So the big thing that I want to get out of this video is mistakes that I should have done that I didn't do. So I've been collecting off and on, and I'm 47, so I'm 46, gonna be 47, for probably 20 years consistently, and before that I was sporadic. You know, if I saw a book up there, like I've actually started seeing some books I used to have that I no longer have that kind of are giving me the warm and fuzzies, and I kind of want to add them to the collection, but I'm kind of like, okay, it really wasn't that great a book. You're just wanting it because you had it before, and it's kind of stupid to buy a book that, you know, isn't really anything other than fluff for your collection. But like Deathlock, I had a mini series of Deathlock that I read the crap out of that thing because it was one of the only series I had. 0 Hour. I loved 0 Hour. Like when Parallax and Hal and all the stuff that was going on, I had that complete collection. And back in the day, and I can't remember if it was, I got that at Woolworths, but there was some kind of pack, and it was at a store, because I know I got it, but it was like a multi-pack, and it had all of those kind of thing, and I'm like, I don't know if I want it, I don't know if I don't want it, kind of thing. I picked it up, I read the crap out of that thing, but it was in its own like poly bag kind of thing, like the blade is, but I had opened it up and I put everything back in, because back then I didn't bag and board anything, because I didn't know where you got bags and boards, because Brandon lives in the middle of nowhere, so that's why he's Mon Comics. Well, my area, I'm a little bit better, but I'm still an hour and a half from most of the LCSs or whatever, because I'm about an hour and a half from Syracuse, give or take, depending on how you drive. So we had like one local comic shop, but I didn't go there a lot as a kid, and then it's like, oh, I can buy books instead of buying the supplies to put the books in, and that's probably why some of them got, you know, lost, destroyed, thrown out, whatever. So, but I remember when I started hunting again, like seriously, because Iron Man had came out, I started getting into Iron Man, I started picking up Iron Man issues, dollar bin and stuff like that. Now we're talking before the hype, and a lot of this stuff was cheap. And I was into Ghost Rider. I remember picking up the Ghost Rider 1 from the 90s from Herb Mackey and Salterez on the art on that for Danny Ketch. I got that in a dollar bin. And now you look online and a copy that's worse than the one that I picked up was at least 30 bucks. Sometimes it's $20 kind of thing. And I used to find copies of that, like, just in the dollar bins all the time. Well, I already got one, and I thought I had picked up a second one, and I know I did. I don't know what I did with it. So now I'm kind of like having remorse. And it's not FOMO necessarily, but there were books that I could have picked up back in the day in the dollar bins, the 50-cent bins, that I glossed over. I don't need that right now. When I come back, and I got to the point where I was only really buying comic books once a year on Free Comic Book Day because everybody had the sales. So I would go down and I would miss run filler because, yeah, I can get the back issue for $1, but I've got 3, 4, I'm missing 6, and I'm missing 2 because, I didn't do that. So then I started actually, I had a pull list at one of the comic shops down in Mattydale, which is Syracuse area, that they've screwed up my pull list for probably the last 2 months, and I'm kind of over them. So the Patriot Flipper that just opened up in my area, I actually just got online, and I'm going to try him out because, I don't religiously go on to the pull list, and that's my fault. But it's like when I have a series selected and the cover that I want, and I selected it, and everything's in the system, and then they either send me the variant, which I guess if they're sold out on the first one, but if I'm on a subscription, shouldn't I get the cover that I've actually requested? Shouldn't you order enough of those? Or I don't get it at all. Or the best one is when I was doing the newest Punisher series that came out, I didn't get issue 2 or 3. I ended up going in and buying them at another LCS when I was there because I'm like, oh, apparently it missed. 2 months later, I got them. Like, what? So, what are some of the things that you, as the community, have missed out on or you regret? Like, okay, so you found something in a dollar bin, you put it back, and now you regret that you didn't pick it up. What are some of the ones that you may have had that you either have lost in the collection? Maybe they're buried in the collection and you just don't know where they are right now, kind of thing. But is there anything that you feel you missed out on that you ended up having to pay more money for and you could have got it cheaper? Is there anything that you got that you regret getting? Because I have a few of those books on my thing. The only book that I will never, ever regret getting is the greatest comic book that has ever came out. And that would be the best pickup. Oh yeah. This is a book that you need to find. You need to get the series. There's 2 series of this. And if you don't love this mullet, then you just don't love mullets. Sorry. Anyway, so if you want to comment down below, what do you think? Has anyone actually read The Ferret? Because I read this, and I was very shocked at the whatever was going on in the story, so I may need to get the first series. But thank you, Lettuce Comics. I know that you brought this to everybody's attention, so I just want to give you a shout out. So, out of the stuff that I picked up, what do you think is good? What do you think is bad? In the comments down below, what have you put back, not picked up, didn't put on your pull list that you regret not getting? So I'm wishing everybody a happy and healthy Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. If you're off for the weekend, if you have to work, my apologies. Have a good week next week, and we will see you later.